My name is Jasmine Solomon. I'm an environmental project consultant. I'm here to express the significance of the Central Everglades Planning Project and the importance of your approval to move forward with this project. After extensive research and an interview with Everglades water research scientist Padel, a civil engineer with an educational background in water resource engineering and a PhD in hydrology, I have concluded that the Central Everglades Planning Project has an important part in Florida waterways, health, and overall environment. The Everglades possesses one of the most complex water management systems in the world, possessing more than 2,000 miles of canal, more than 1,000 water control structures. It is a very flat plain. The flat land creates problems with flood control and water distribution. The Everglades is also home of many native Florida species of plants, animals, and other wildlife. Everglades Planning Project will redistribute the water in the Central Everglades, control flooding, restore the ecosystem, increase water supply to agricultural and industrial areas, adding parks and recreation to build healthier communities in South Florida, to help clean air and improve the overall health of residents. Currently, the water availability in the Everglades is rain-driven. Increased rainfall in this area has resulted in flooding and changes in water availability. As a result of flooding, poor water movement in the flat Everglades has caused rising water levels affecting plant and animal survivability. Scientist Padel used an example of Conservation Area Division 3B, where there used to be a large deer population and there's no longer deer because they cannot survive because of the high water levels. In other areas, it is completely dry where it used to be very wet, and they are losing native plants. For example, sawgrass, which is a very unique type of plant that is very threatened at this time. This plant is at the bottom of the food base of the Everglades and is required for survivability of other creatures. Flooding has also resulted in higher phosphorus levels and unpredictable levels of salinity in the water. The flooding increases farm runoff, natural decay runoff, and sewage runoff. This increase in pollution needs to be avoided, and this can happen through water reallocation. Water will be stored during the wet season and gradually released during the dry season. The implementation of the Central Everglades Planning Project will help to maintain native plant and animal species and increase seagrass. Maintaining the native species in the Everglades will have a positive impact on the health of South Florida population. Native plants are easier to maintain and they have little impact on polluting the environment and minimal contamination because they require little to no pesticides or watering to maintain. Keeping native plants reduces the noise and carbon pollution. Plants help to maintain balance and clean air through a process called photosynthesis. This means that they will absorb carbon dioxide and excrete oxygen. They naturally maintain balance in the air. This helps to improve air quality and combat air pollution in South Florida. The Environmental Protection Agency shows that consistent inhalation of pollutants can cause inflammation in the airway, respiratory infections, and decreased lung function. Keeping native plants and minimizing the need to artificially improve plant life improves overall air quality and the overall health of the citizens. Funding from South Florida Water Management and other grants will allow this project to be implemented without extra cost to surrounding citizens. Also, in 2008, President Bill Clinton signed an Everglades Restoration Grant allocating funds to the water reallocation projects in the Everglades. Since this time, the projects have grown from $1 billion to $17 billion. This funding is planned to be used for continuous monitoring of water quality and quantity, tracking the impacts of improvements of this project and keeping the water safe. State and national investment will keep the cost to residents low and keep maintaining the projects and keeping clean water, making changes as needed. As the Central Everglades project is implemented, the project operating manual will be drafted. The project operating manual will include testing and monitoring phases during the project implementation for the short and the long term. This manual will be updated and changed as the project comes together and testing and monitoring phases are completed. Also, the Central Everglades Planning Project is implemented. There will be ongoing monitoring and semi-annual reviews to assess the impact of the success. Scientist Padel states that NESLO Academy of Scientists consists of 15 to 16 independent professors that will review all of the work that is going on in this project and the progress every 2 years. They will submit a report of the progress assessing and reviewing the quality of the water and the quantity of the water in different areas that has been reallocated, and the goals of this project will be met. There is nothing but positive results that I can see coming from this project to help the health and the environment in South Florida. I appreciate your time and consideration for approval to move forward with this project.